Hey y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. I pray you all are having a blessed day and a glorious day. It is Thursday, October 30th, and I want to get on here and tell you about a dream, not that I had, that my husband had. He just had this dream the night before last. He just told me about it last night, and he'll kill me if he even think I even put this out. He's like, my dreams are for me, and I'm like, no, your dreams are not just for you. Sometimes they're messages, from God too, just for other people to know, right? But anyway, I'm sitting outside. He's in there asleep right now. So, but in this dream, he said that there was no food. Okay, there was no food. Like the world was in like starvation or whatever, and he said that we were on this like like a not a plantation or whatever you call it, a camp, right? We're like a part of a group of people um, at this camp, and we were actually like leaders, and there were people that we were in charge of, right? Um, and he said that he was cooking like that. He said that like there was hardly any food, and he was cooking I think some rice and some vegetables or something like that. And he said that um, the meat he said that the meat was like there were people that had meat, but like the regular meat wasn't safe to eat. The meat that people had, and I think he said that they were Asians. Um, they had a way of preserving their meat. Their meat was different because they were able to preserve their meat, but he wasn't sure how they were preserving it. But they were able to eat meat because they were able to preserve it a certain way, right? Um, but because I remember he said that he'll tell me to go wake up my daughter so she can come and eat, because he said tell her it's Chinese food and she might eat it, right? So in the dream, he said something happened and it was time for us to leave the camp. So we had to pack up all of our stuff and leave the camp. So I guess in the midst of us leaving the camp, because he kept breaking up when he was telling me this stuff, I try to remember most of it. But he said, I guess we were walking, and I guess to a different location, and he said that like people would get up and just go to work. It was like a normal, like it was like normal routine stuff he would do. Like you would get up in the morning and go to work like you normally do. But he said there just was no food. Like there was no food. The world was in starvation. And he said that we had to get up and leave this camp. And he said there were dead bodies everywhere. And like it was so normal. Like you can walk past a dead body and nobody would even think anything of it. Like it was normal to see dead bodies everywhere. Um, I'm trying to think of the rest of the dream. He said, I think that might have been it, but there's some more to it. I just can't remember everything, and he didn't want me to put it out in the first place. but but anyway, um, that was the dream. He said the world was in starvation, but people were moving around like they normally do, like their normal routine. They would get up, go to work, come home, but there was no food, so you had to preserve the food. And I think he said there was like a lot of vegetables, rice and vegetables, but the meat was scarce because I guess the meat in the United States maybe wasn't safe to eat, but the people like Chinese people or something, they knew how to preserve their meat, so they were able to eat the meat because they preserved it a certain way. Um, but I told him, before, because I've had dreams before about there being food shortages, like no food in the stores, um, and I've had that probably 3 times where there was no food in the stores. Um, and also I've had dreams about there being chaos in the streets. It wasn't going to be safe to be on the streets, and that was actually about a year ago this time. So I think with all the stuff happening right now, that we need to pray against it. But I do believe that if they don't fix this issue with the SNAP benefits, that the streets will not be safe to be on. Because in my dream, that people were dressed up in like Halloween costumes. So this is the time frame that the Lord gave me this dream. It was about this time frame right now, where it was not going to be safe to be on the streets. People were going to be rioting. It was going to be chaos on the streets, right? So With that being said, I just told him like that dream is significant, right? That is God telling you something about the future. So all I know is that we need to be prepared for any and everything that may happen, you know, soon. But I do believe that there will be in the future, maybe, and it could, who knows when, but maybe in the future there will be a point in time where the food will be scarce. That's why a lot of people have been led to prep, to store up food, store up water, anything you may need that you know that you will not have access to, or that you know will be scarce in availability. Okay, so I just want to let y'all know that dream my husband had, and the Lord does speak to him. He don't know it. He does know it probably, but the Lord does speak to him in dreams. He just doesn't take them as seriously as I do. So he's like, I'm not going to tell you because then you're going to go all overboard with it. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. So I said, because the Lord does speak in dreams and he does give messages in dreams. So your dreams are important, right? But I just want to put that out there. If somebody else has had something similar, please put it in the comments and let me know. But that was the dream he had, that the world was in starvation. We're going about like normal every day, going to work, coming home, but the food was scarce and you were eating like vegetables and rice and barely any meat, okay? But again, just pray over your cities. If you are in large cities especially, pray over your cities, over your states. Just prepare for anything, especially like prepare for earthquakes. Right, prepare for an earthquake because he showed me that an earthquake is coming. I don't know when, but he's literally shaking the world up spiritually right now. He is doing a spiritual shaking, but we know that everything that happens in the spiritual will eventually come down into the natural, right? So we need to be prepared because the shaking is coming. He said that to me specifically, word for word. He said the shaking is still coming. Okay, so I pray you have a blessed day and a glorious day. And just remember to, no matter what goes on in the world, just, keep your focus on God because He will protect us. He will give us provision. Okay, but that provision also, He is, setting certain people aside to be a source of provision for people that don't have it, right? So we are to just be ready. If he's called you to be one of those people that's going to be a resource, make sure that you are ready to be that resource for others. All right, have a great day. Bye.